Aero bike versus climbing bike is a video that we want to make, but we don't have a climber's bike.
So we asked Scott for one of the lightest frames that they make.
In today's video, we're going to build it up. So, we have got a Scott Addict RC Pro. This is the Tony Fawcett Signature Edition, I heard. Blue, sparkly paint, almost the lightest one that they make. Oh, the paint looks nice, doesn't it? There is an insane amount of packaging on this, keeping it safe, which is a good thing. I'm going to take this all off and give it to Nick. Got a big enough camera, Jimmy?
Well, the camera's quite small. All the stuff added to it is not. Did you know I make videos on my own YouTube channel called Jimmy Media?
Jimmy Media?
Yeah, Jimmy Media. Have you not heard of it before? If you watch a CADE Media video, you'll see a recommendation for Jimmy Media. That's me.
You know things are getting serious when Nick is reading an instruction manual. We're putting a rotor group set on this bike, which is a bit unusual and fully hydraulic. Nick's really happy about it.
Every day is a school day. Like, there's no wording on there. It's like pictures. I could do with Catherine.
It's very ugly, isn't it? It looks like it was designed in the 1940s. Come to think of it, it's almost Bauhaus. Okay, I like it now.
Super scientific.
Just back to school, mate.
I thought you only watched my YouTube channel.
Well, your YouTube channel unfortunately doesn't teach you how to bleed gears. Couldn't just buy a proper, normal, easy-to-use group set, could you?
You sold me this group set. Nick sold me this group set and he said it would be amazing. It's semi-amazing. I mean, it works. Just.
The last time when we built it, we never bled it. We just plugged it all in and it kind of worked by magic.
After many hours of reading instruction manuals, we now have a working bike. This is a Scott Addict RC Pro, size small, amazing blue paint job with little sparkly bits in the paint, integrated bar and stem, a Creston IC SL. This is 38 centimeters wide and 90 millimeters long, which is the way I like my bike set up, perfect fit. Proprietary seat post from Synchros, Boost SLR from Selle Italia, carbon rail version. Wheels are Parcours Stradas. These are different depths and different thicknesses. So the front one is wider than the rear one, which apparently helps with the aerodynamics. Mounted to the wheels are Hutchinson Fusion 5 tyres, tubeless, and these wheels are made to work with a 28mm tyre, so they sit nice and flush. Group set, this is the unusual bit, a rotor 1x12 or 1x13 if you were to use it with the special hub that they make. It's the same group set, it can be set up either way. It is the successor to Rotor Uno, which is from a few years back, and it is fully hydraulic. So you have hydraulic brakes, you have hydraulic shifting. I think it's pretty rare. I've only ever seen one set, which is the set that I have, which I bought from the shop. It's 1x with a 46 chainring on the front and a really big one-piece cassette. So it does actually have a decent range of gears for road riding. Perhaps you wouldn't want to do a bike race on it because it is 1x at the end of the day. But as you can see, the mech is really unusual looking and super weird, which I quite like. It's a 39. It's a 39.
It's not. You sure?
Yeah.
39.
Lastly, we have fidlock magnetic bottle cages, and I don't know what these are called. Jimmy, what are these called? Granite. Are these granite juicy nipples? I'm sure there's a thing called a juicy nipple. Granite juicy nipple.
And that's what you think that is?
I think that's what that's called. It's a little tubeless valve, but you have this thing that threads on. The cap has a little hole in it, which means you can undo your valve cores like that. And they're really handy, and then they just sit there and they're super neat. Juicy nipples. There's a bike. What do you reckon? How much do you reckon it's going to weigh? Should we weigh it? Let's weigh it now. I'm taking the juicy nipples off for this bit. This weighs
6.88 kilos.
Sub 7. Sub 7 for a disc brake bike. I know there's no front mech, but that's pretty good. And it's full of hydraulic fluid. So much more hydraulic fluid than any other bike in the world. I'm pretty sure this is the only group set that exists, other than the photos they took for it online.
They use that for those?
They used this one for the photo. They must have. Let's take it outside. So we're out in Beamish, our local road, filming a different video about this Halford's affordable entry-level bike. I thought I would take this one out to test, just make sure everything's bedded in and working. I forgot, well, one, frame feels fantastic. Definitely very different from the Foil, which is the aero bike that I've been riding for the last 6 months, maybe longer. On top of that, the group set feels so much better than it ever did before, and probably because Nick first set this up. I mean, it was the first time he'd ever set up a hydraulic group set, and we plugged it all in. It already had fluid in all the hoses, and it worked, and it's functioning so much better now. We've done a fresh bleed in the system, and it's just working brilliant, so.
I fucking love it. It is mint. It legitimately is mint. I'd sat on it, the position is just like, for me, is just absolutely exquisite. I can't believe how good the shifting is on that bike. I legitimately thought it was going to be a piece of shit. And it's phenomenal.
Rotor group set, who would have known? These are horrible though. These are the worst hoods I've ever touched. Horrible.
They are disgusting.
They are, they're so stretchy. So -1 point. It's only a 9 out of 10.
I have to say though, I wouldn't recommend anyone ever buying that group set though.
Why?
It's like novelty, isn't it? Like you take it into a bike shop, anywhere other than the one that sold it to you, or perhaps the one that sold it to you, and they'll go, I don't know what to do with it. Take it somewhere else.
Should probably point out, the only reason I own this group set is because I bought it in the pandemic when there was a parts shortage and there was no bicycle parts available. You couldn't get group sets, and this one was in stock, so I thought we'd give it a go. I'm pretty happy. It's weird, I like it. You know what I've just noticed? Or what I just haven't noticed? That bike has quite an aggressive Q-ring on it, and neither of us have even noticed that it was Q-shaped. Yeah. So the chainring on the Scott Addict and the rotor, it comes with the rotor group set, is a rotor Q-ring, which is an oval-shaped chainring. So it's supposed to help with pedaling dynamics, and apparently there's like claims of extra power transfer, probably false. It's definitely quite aggressively shaped compared to a round one, and yeah, neither of us have even noticed, so there you go.
Yeah,
how good is a Q-ring? It feels the same.
Yeah, it really does. I actually forgot it had one until you just mentioned it then. The shifters look like they'd be really uncomfortable, but they're fantastic.
You like them?
They're really nice. I do like this group set, but like I said earlier, it is a novelty group set. I wouldn't want to do anything serious on this. It's the kind of thing you put on a bike for lols and you use a couple of times a year.
What are you talking about? I rode it through Spain for a month and it was fine.
Because you're an idiot.
True. So that is the Scott Addict RC Pro with rotor on it.
I'll be honest, that bike is absolutely phenomenal. I didn't think I was going to say it. The group set's weird, but the bike just feels phenomenal. I don't think I've ever ridden a sub 7 kilo bike before.
How does it feel?
Like a non-sub 7 kilo bike. You can't tell me that the weight of that bike is noticeable when you ride it.
Well, I think we need to do a video and actually find out.
Subscribe for that video, which hasn't yet been made.